Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatayade Shatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gauru Bhaktivinoda. Everyone, please raise your hands high up and chant together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yes, Agnil Prabhu, I've taken care of that. I just started it. So let's begin with our today's presentation. One second. By the way, before I begin our today's presentation, how did you like yesterday's discussion about the legend of Lord Ram? Give us a thumbs up if you were happy. Well, I don't see that. Maybe you raise both your hands high up. Then I'll get to see that. Both the hands high up. And loudly say, Hari Bol! You have to chant loudly, huh? Only then I can hear you. Once more, loudly. Hari Bol! Okay. All right. I can hear you, although all of you are muted, but I can at least understand your emotions. Great. So with that as a background, we'll begin our today's discussion. And we'll... So, one second. Yes. So, legend of Shri Ram. Along with this, we are also talking about the doubts. So, again, a note from a moderator. Please, all of you, kindly don't type in anything in the chat box. If I ask you, then you reply. Otherwise, please sit back, relax, and watch a movie. It's like that, okay? Don't get disturbed. So yesterday we began our discussion about the legend of Shri Ram and as well as doubts around the personality, the character of Lord Ram. So yesterday we saw two questions which were raised by Madan Sati, the wife of Lord Shiva. And सबसे पहला प्रश्न, सबसे पहला doubt जो Madan Sati had was how a mortal being can be a supreme personality of Godhead. In other words, why a supreme personality of Godhead has to descend in the mortal world and take a form of a human. He's all powerful, so he can destroy any demon by his energies. Why he has to come? So we saw the answer. For this particular question, we had referred 4.7 and 4.8 verse of Bhagavad Gita. Then, along with that, we also discussed that Lord comes not only in the human form, but he comes in different conditions. So we already discussed it yesterday. Second, if he is Lord, then how can his consort, who must be an incarnation of Lakshmi, get kidnapped by a demon? So we spoke about Vedvati, who had cursed Ravana, that she will become responsible of Ravana's death in her next life, and she had self-immolated or ignited the fire, and she had given up that body. And in the next life, she appeared in the form of Mother Sita, and she's the one who was kidnapped by Ravana. So we discussed these two doubts. Let's come to the third doubt. These are very important questions for all of you as you grow up and as you express your faith in Ramayana and scriptures. So people will challenge you with these doubts. So pay attention. If you want to note down the answer, you can note down. And this is a third question which is commonly asked. Lord Ram, he came to this world to establish dharma. That's what we discussed yesterday. Lord comes when there is a rise in irreligion and decline in dharma. So he comes to establish dharma. So he's supposed to be Dharmaraj. He's supposed to be Maryada Purushottama. Then how can Lord Ram act like a coward and kill Bali from behind the bushes? Why did Lord Ram did not have a direct combat with Bali? Is it a valid question? Do you think? Raise your hand so I know. Or maybe reply in the chat box. If Lord Ram is supposed to follow dharma, supposed to establish dharma, then you should fight face on face. Why you're fighting from behind and killing him in an ambush? So good, valid question. Actually, when Lord Ram had shot Bali and Bali had collapsed on the ground, at that point of time, Bali also asked Lord Ram the same thing. He said, Ram, you're the supreme personality of Godhead. I had heard so much about you. You have incarnated here for a purpose. I worshipped you. I had great hopes from you. How can you cheat me? Why did you supported Sugriva? And that too, you killed me, you ambushed me, and you shot an arrow from behind. It does not behoove you. It is not of your personality. Why did you do so? Like that, Bali began to taunt Lord Ram and began to find fault with Ram, saying that you're a son of Dashrath, you're a great personality. How can you do such a sinful act? And that point of time, all of you know the story of conflict between Sugriv and Bali, which has been discussed in Ramayana, our sessions prior. So I'm not going to go into the details of it. I'll just focus on the question here raised by Bali. So when Bali asked like this, so that point of time, Lord Ram said, the very first thing Lord Ram said, hey Bali, dharmo rakshati rakshita, which means one who follows dharma is protected by dharma. Once again, if one who follows dharma is protected by dharma. To give you an example, all of your students, all of you go to school. If you all follow the timings and the rules of the school, then you probably would get praised or maybe get recognized by the teacher and the principal. Yes? However, if imagine you go late for the assembly, you don't turn up in class in time for attendance, and you create trouble in the school, how many of you think you deserve a punishment for that? Yes, because you're not following the rules of the school. Similarly, Lord Ram told Bali, dharmo rakshati rakshitaha, which means, hey Bali, if you follow dharma, dharma protects you. But look at you. You're such a sinful, living entity. You tried to kill your younger brother Sugriva. If that was not all, you kidnapped, you usurped the wife of Sugriva and you cohabitated with her. Now, according to scriptures, younger brother is like a son, and the wife of a younger brother is like a daughter. In other words, Bali, you cohabitated with your daughter, for which you performed such a sinful act. So you do not deserve to be protected by dharma. What you have got is nothing but a reaction of your own sinful activities. So you're under the purview of karma, and that's the reason you deserve punishment. So Wali was, yes, he could recognize that that's his mistake. So he got a little pacified. And then Lord Ram gave the second reason why he killed Bali in that particular manner. Lord Ram said, as a Kshatriya, we are allowed to kill animals in hunting. Bali, although you are from a Vanara race, which is, it's not like you are like an animal species. You are a very belonging to a great dynasty and a lineage. However, your activities were like of animal. You acted like animal. How what you did with your brother's wife is an act of an animal. That's the reason you deserve a punishment like an animal. According to the codes of Kshatriya, the Kshatriya are allowed to go and hunt for animals in the jungle. So like that, I hunted for you. So you cannot blame me for your situation. That's the second reason that Lord Ram said. And then the third reason. So I hope you're making note of the reasons. The first two reasons we have talked about. And now the Lord Ram gave the third reason. And Lord Ram said, hey Pali, you forgot, but I will remind you. You were blessed by Brahma and many other gods that you cannot be defeated in a direct combat. First place. And second, when you face somebody in a direct combat, you will gain half of his power. All of you might know that once, long, long ago, Bali was doing his Gayatri. He was sitting by the bank of a river and he was doing his, offering the Gayatri, chanting the Gayatri mantra. At that point in time, Ravana had attacked Bali. Do you all know the story? Okay, some of you, but not all. I'll just briefly tell you. So Ravana came and he attacked Bali. Now Bali was busy in chanting his Gayatri. So you know what he did? So when Ravana attacked, Bali raised his left hand like this and got hold of Ravana's neck, and he kept him like this under his left arm for a long, long time. Ravana tried his best to set himself free, but he was choked by the strength, by the power of Bali. Finally, Ravana decided and understood that this Vanra is not an ordinary Vanra. I cannot defeat him. So finally, he begged forgiveness, and that's how Bali left him, and that's how Ravana left from there. So Lord Ram said, Bali, if I had to come and kill you in a direct combat, I could have killed you because the blessings and the boons of the demigods for you do not apply on me. I can break those blessings. However, I always preserve and protect the words of my devotees. Lord Ram said, I always preserve and protect the words of my devotees. If I would have come and killed you in a direct combat, then what would have happened to the reputation and the words of great devotees like Brahma and other devatas? So here we learn a very beautiful lesson. Similarly, Lord Shri Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, hey Arjuna, you declare to everyone that my devotees will never perish. And a question is asked, oh, why did Lord Krishna ask Arjuna, why can't Krishna say himself? Why? Because of this reason. Krishna or the Lord will let his vow and commitment, he can break his commitment, but he would never allow the commitment or the words of his devotees come false or become false. So Lord Ram was willing to put his honor, his reputation at stake just to protect the words and the blessings of the devatas. So like this, after hearing three different reasons from Lord Ram, Bali became pacified. Do you remember there was a similar example in Mahabharata, who being killed began to criticize Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna, you're the Supreme Personality. How can you allow this injustice to happen? When I was not ready to fight, you asked this so-and-so warrior to kill me. Who knows the answer? Who was that personality? Let's see what you guys type in the chat box. Okay. Someone I just see one or two answers here. Yes, the correct answer is Karna. And the same thing holds true for Karna, because he was also by the side of Adharma. And that's the reason when Karna's chariot wheel had got stuck in the ground, Karna came down and he had dropped his weapon, and he was trying to lift the chariot wheel. According to the laws or the codes of war, if another warrior is not ready to fight with you, you're not supposed to shoot. You're not supposed to, shoot a weapon or shoot an arrow at him. So Karna said, Arjuna, wait, my chariot wheel is stuck. So let me take out my chariot wheel from the ground, then we'll fight. So Karna was trying to take out the chariot wheel, and Krishna looked at Arjuna and said, Arjuna, shoot. Arjuna said, my dear Lord, how can you do it? This is against the codes of war. Krishna said, well, this is not the time to discuss dharma. This man is so sinful that he does not deserve protection by dharma. You shoot and kill him right now. So Arjuna complied to the instruction, to the order of Lord Shri Krishna, and he shot an arrow. And when that arrow was shot and when that arrow pierced Karna, when Karna fell on the ground, he began to cry, my dear Lord, how can you do this? How did you allow adharma to prevail? How did you do this? So Lord Krishna that time said, where was your dharma when you instigated Duryodhan in the assembly of Kauravas to disrobe Draupadi? Where was your dharma when Abhimanyu was killed by so many Maharathis single-handedly? So like that, Lord Shri Krishna began to talk to Karna in the same manner like Lord Rama was talking to Bali, to tell him, to remind him, you are adharmic, you took the side of adharma. So in case of Bali, when he heard these words of wisdom from Lord Ram, he became pacified and he began to cry. And he said, my dear Lord, please forgive me for all my offenses. Bali also had cohabitated with the wife of another man, and Ravana also did to so many married women of other men. However, Ravana never regretted after being killed by Ram. But Bali, because he was a great personality, for a time being, he got distracted from the path of dharma. So when he was punished, he could realize this mistake and he asked forgiveness. And that's the time, with tears in his eyes, he thanked Lord Ram and he spoke to Sugriva and he spoke to his son Angad. And he said, Angad, please accept Sugriva as your father. And he requested Lord Ram, my dear Lord Ram, please protect Sugriva, my younger brother, also my son Angad. Please keep them under your care. Like that, this whole incident ended here. Now, why Bali got distracted and why he began to follow the path of adharma? Because Bali had become so powerful, so powerful, invincible, that nobody could challenge him. So that strength, that power went into his head and he became proud. And he thought, no one is as good as I am, nobody can defeat me. So when people become extremely powerful, extremely wealthy, and so forth, beautiful and like that, when they have so much opulences, maybe of physical health, of wealth and possessions, there is always a risk of becoming proud. And like that, Bali became proud. However, Sugriv was thrown away from the kingdom, so he was all humble. And in all humility, he could take shelter of Lord Ram. So that's how Bali was killed, and Bali's life teaches us all a very important lesson. Even if we become very successful in our life, we should be careful not to give up the path of dharma and not to walk the path of dharma, because at the end of the day, dharma prevails. And that is what Lord Ram taught from this particular instance. So this is the point here. So with that, we this is what Bali said. I'll conclude with the last statement. Bali said, "My dear Lord, it is my great fortune to die in your presence, and it is perfection of my life." Saying like this, speaking like this with his folded hands, as you can see in the picture, seeing the beautiful face of Lord Ram, he passed away from this world. So today we answered doubt number 3. And the doubt number 3 was, some people say Lord Ram, although he's a supreme personality Godhead, he came to establish dharma, but he acted like a coward by killing Bali in an ambush, or by killing Bali from behind, not face-to-face combat. So we gave you 3 reasons why Lord Ram did so. So I hope all of you understand this, and that's how we can reconcile this particular doubt. So there are 7 more doubts which we'll discuss in the future sessions. Now, we'll continue our discussion about legend of Ram. So we spoke about the doubts. Now let's talk about the legend of Ram. So as we began discussing yesterday, the legend of Rama and Ramayana and other countries outside Bharatvarsha. So we have been discussing about Southeast Asian countries. So this is your Southeast Asia map. So which all countries did we cover yesterday? Who remembers? We spoke about, Ramayana in 3 countries. Do you remember which 3 countries had we discussed? Please type it in the chat box. Okay. Yes, Thailand is the one country we discussed, correct. What else? Cambodia and Burma, yes. Indonesia, we have not discussed. Indonesia, we're going to talk about. I just gave you a little bit of introduction to Indonesia. Yes, all of you are correct. Thailand, Burma, and Cambodia. I see a comment here. There is a little distraction in the audio or the video. Well, whatever is given facility in terms of internet, we are trying to do it. In case if you find you have missed out anything on the session, you can contact our Vishwakiran Prabhu, the moderator. He's uploading these recordings on the YouTube channel. You can always watch it later on. I guess he's sharing the link into your WhatsApp group also. So you have all these recordings available. So yesterday we spoke about Ramayana in Thailand. We saw how in Thailand the Ramayana is called as Ramakeen. It's a very, very famous epic. In fact, it's a national epic of Thailand. And the rulers of Thailand used to have their name either in the prefix or in the suffix by the name of Rama. Rama 1, Rama 2, Rama 3, like that we were talking about it. And there are many dances, there are many plays which are performed even up to today in Thailand based on the characters of Ramayana. Similarly, we saw the influence of Ramayana in Burma. So just to give you an idea, we were talking earlier, maybe I should have shown you here. When we were this is a map. So when we were talking yesterday, I said until Dwapar Yuga, India was not this much India. All of you please see in the map. India was not limited to this map of India. The whole land of this planet Earth was called as Bharatvarsha, because of which the culture of Ayodhya, which is present in current India, was prevalent and discussed all over the world. And we are giving you evidences of it. Even after millions of years later, up to today, there are so many Vishnu temples, worshippers of Lord Rama in all over the world. That's what we have been discussing. So Thailand, in Burma, the Ramayana is called as Yamayanaha, and it's also unofficially the national epic of Burma. However, the characters have their own local names. They're not known as Ram, Lakshmana, Sita, although they all are based on Valmiki Ramayana, but the names are taken into a local context. And yesterday, I had shown you the photographs from one of their epic book, how they had drawn into a local context. We all had seen that photos, and all of you were trying to figure out what this particular scene represents from Ramayana. And that were from the pics from the Ramayana. And the third country that we discussed yesterday was Cambodia. Now, if you look into the map, actually, I should have put the map here again. Anyways, I will not go back on the map. Actually, Thailand, Vietnam, Burma did not existed before. Up to 700-800 years before, or let's say 500 years before or prior to that, from Indian Ocean to China Ocean or South China Sea, what they call, all the islands together, which we call as Thailand, Hong Kong, Vietnam, Cambodia, Malaysia, Indonesia, all that together was called as, Cambodia or the Laos. We'll talk about the Laos country just ahead. They were all one. Later on, because of the locals, because of the infighting, because of Muslim invasion, because of Buddhism influence, all the cluster of islands got broken into small pieces, and that's how different countries came into existence. But even up to today, if you visit any of these islands or these countries, you'll find so many beautiful temples of Lord Ram or Vishnu. So Cambodia, which has a place by the name of Angkor Wat. Now, Angkor Wat is a place, it's an island in itself, which has the biggest Hindu temple or the Vedic temple outside of India ever built. You can see the photo of it. Huge, incredible temple. And in Cambodia, the version of Ramayana is called as Rama Kirti. Rama means Lord Rama, Kirti means the glory. In other words, the glories of Lord Rama. So let's begin with today's discussion, today's country that we want to address. Ramayana in Indonesia. You see this photo in the site? This is a photo from the cultural event. In all these countries, the Ramayana is not only read as a scripture, but the Ramayana is very famous for the plays and the dance. So they have a lot of cultural event around Ramayana. And this is one of the photos from the cultural event where this is Lord Ram and this is Mother Sita enacting the Ramayana pastimes. This is happening in a place called Java. This is a stone artifact from one of the temples in Indonesia. Can anyone make a guess what is happening here? What do you see in the photograph here? You have to a little bit pay attention. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to figure out what's happening in the photo. Yes, this is the Pushpak Viman. You see this 10-headed Ravana here? So many heads with so many hands. And this is Mother Sita. Yes, correct. Good. Smart kids. So this is Ravana kidnapping Sita. This photo or this stone artifact or stone carving is from Prambanan Temple, which is in central Java. And it's the abduction of Mother Sita by Ravana. So until 15th century, the Vedic culture was very prominent in most of these countries that we have spoken about. However, post 15th century, these countries were invaded by Muslim rulers. And slowly and gradually, most of this country became Muslim dominated. According to Muslim religious text, if there is a practice of any other religion except for Muslim religion or Islam, it is considered to be a great threat to their religion. So generally, wherever this religion is prominent, they kind of, they just, what should I say? They don't allow other religions to flourish or to even exist. So over a period of time, all the ancient temples and all that were destroyed, but some relics are still available. So the version of Ramayana that is known in Java, Indonesia, is known by the name of Kakawin Ramayana, which is the Javanese. So Java is the capital, Jakarta is the capital, which is a city within Java, and the Javanese is a local language. And this whole Ramayana is written in a Javanese language, and it is known as Kakawin Ramayana. So this is about Indonesia, beautiful place, many ancient temples. There are many relics of Mahabharata also there. Well, we're not talking about Mahabharata, so I'm not speaking about the influence of Mahabharata in all these countries, but there are many temples of, Lord Shri Krishna and so forth, great personalities, of Pandavas like that. Let's go to the next country, Malaysia. Now, this is a dance based on Ramayana performed in Malaysia. So as I said earlier, all these countries have a very rich culture based on Ramayana, and there are a lot of cultural concerts or dramas happens centered around the theme of Ramayana. If you go out on YouTube, you'll find some of these dramas uploaded on YouTube also. So in Malaysia, Ramayana is known by the name of Hikayat Seri Rama. The name of Ramayana is Hikayat Seri Ramaya. It is written in the Malaya version. So Malaya is a local language in Malaysia, and this whole Ramayana is written into that language. The story and everything is similar to the original Sanskrit version of Valmiki Ramayana. Today, Malaysia is a Muslim nation, and as I said earlier, the Muslims consider the practice of other religions as a threat to their religion, part of their religious understanding. So now the cultural influence of Ramayana is very limited in Malaysia. Not much. It is not found much in Malaysia, but yet there are many famous cultural events which still happen. And one of the very famous cultural events of Malaysia is a puppet show, a shadow show, not a puppet show, but what is called as Malaya shadow show. This is a photo of Lord Ram fighting with Ravana. So it's called as Malaya shadow puppet shows, and they're still very famous in certain parts of Malaysia. And with that, we come to the last country for our today's discussion, and that is, I believe this is pronounced as Laos. So Laos is a city of very interesting. As I said, from Indian Ocean up to the South China Sea, all those islands were called as Laos. Then Laos later got disintegrated in Cambodia, Thailand, Vietnam, and like that, and different smaller islands and countries came into existence. But earlier, all was called as Laos. The Laos is the city of love. Who is love? Love is the son of Lord Rama. So the city is named after the son of Lord Ram, that is love. That's how this whole batch of islands got a name as Laos. And there's still many temples in Laos which have various scenes from Ramayana depicting on the walls of the temples. And Ramayana in Laos is known by the name of Fra Lak Fra Ram. So it's a local language. It's like you're doing a kung fu. He, who. It's like that. Fra Lak, Fra Ram, something like that. So this Fra Lak, Fra Ram is a national epic. Now, this Laos is not a Muslim nation, rather, it's a Buddhist nation. So, in Laos, it is believed that Ramayana or Lord Ram, is about the previous life of Buddha. So in Laos, they consider Lord Ram to be the first incarnation of Buddha, and Lord Ram later on incarnated as Buddha. So Ramayana, the teachings of Ramayana are considered mostly in the context of Buddhist philosophy in Laos because of the cultural impact like that. However, still, there are a lot of, I would say, the influence of Vedic tradition is still present. This is one of the photo from the book, Fra Lak Fra Ram. Can anyone guess what is happening in this photo? You have to see it carefully. Let's see if anyone of you can figure it out. Make a wild guess. What do you see in the photo here? No guesses? Should I tell you the answer? You can just give a guess. What do you think? Yes, Panchul is correct. He see Hanuman. This is Hanumanji. If this is, you see the tail here? This is the tail, and this is the mouth. So this is Hanumanji. What is happening here? Who is this then? To whom is Hanumanji showing his sword? To whom did Hanumanji show his sword? Finding Sita is okay, but who is the person sleeping here? Yes, that's Ravana. Finally, you got it. You see, there's so many queens. So this one single picture, you see Ravana being surrounded by queens. This is queens. So this is Ravana who is sleeping around with his whole entourage of queens, and here is Hanumanji who has come for search of Mother Sita. So again, this particular version has been, I would say, adopted according to their cultural understanding, but characters and the stories remains the same. So in Laos or Laos, we call it, the Ramayana is present in five forms: in dance, in songs, in paintings, in sculptures, and in the form of sacred text. So important is Ramayana for them that it is present in these five particular forms. And this is particularly a dance scene. Anyways, that's not important, but this is a dancing before, to honor the gods before they begin the drama on this particular version of Ramayana. Some interesting thing about Laos. This is a reference that I have included here, if in case kids are interested to read, but this would be too much for all of you to read, so I have included the summary. This is the stamp, the official stamp of Laos, where you can see this particular incident from Ramayana being mentioned here. So, some interesting thing about this country known by the name of Laos. Earlier, the name of Laos was Suvarna Pom Pathet or Pathet, whatever you want to call it. In Sanskrit, actually, this is known as Swarna Bhumi Pradesha. The Swarna Bhumi Pradesha in the local language is what is written in this particular form. However, you want to pronounce it, I don't know. So Swarna Bhumi Pradesh means Laos was considered a city of gold. In other words, it was a place where gold was found in abundance. And that's how it was given the name. As I already said, it was a large peninsula situated between the Indian Ocean and China Sea. So all these islands, cluster of islands that we know now with different names, were nothing but a single, one particular nation at that point of time, long, long ago. And the last, the culture of Laos, Thailand, and Cambodia is made up of the earliest forms of Buddhism and Hinduism. And in these particular countries, Buddhism is most prominent, and the versions of Ramayana are adapted according to the Buddhist teachings. Like that, Ramayana or the teachings about Ram or the writings of Ramayana are culturally accepted and prevalent all over the Southeast Asia. We still have a few more countries to discuss: Philippines, Japan, China. After discussing those, we'll go to Russia, then we'll come to Europe, and then we'll go to North America and South America. And we'll discuss how Ramayana has been practiced, or the teachings of Ramayana has been discussed in all these cultures. So today we discussed again three countries. One is Laos, other is your Malaysia, and prior to Malaysia it was Indonesia. Tomorrow, when we meet again, we'll discuss the remaining countries in Southeast Asia, and we'll go ahead with Europe, Russia, and in the last session, we'll talk about North and South America. So with that, I thank you all for your kind attention. I hope all of you are able to understand what I'm trying to convey the message to you all. And in case if any one of you have any question and concerns, we'll take the question now. With that, Jai Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki Jai, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.